Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be starting the call here in just a couple of moments. We're going to record it this evening, so everyone's going to stay on mute. And I'm happy to see everyone's faces, but I'm just turning off the video here just for the recording. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Stuart Tomk. I get to be your co-host this evening. Thank you so much for joining the Zinzino Opportunity Call. Just giving everyone just another moment to join. Okay. Give everyone just another minute and then we'll start the recording. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new, if this is your first time, a very warm welcome to learn about the future of personalized health. Okay. All right, Michael, it's right at the top of the hour here. I'm going to hit the record button, and then we're going to get started here.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, and welcome to the Zinzino story. My name is Stuart Tomk. I get to be your co-host this evening. What you're going to hear tonight is the biggest breakthrough in personalized nutrition over the last 25 years. And my co-host this evening is an expert in the field of longevity. If you are not yet familiar with who Michael Varbeck is, he is a world-renowned longevity researcher. He and his wife, Diane, check this out, have been to all 5 of the blue zones and 75 other countries where people live a long, healthy life. They're documentarians. They're the boots on the ground. They take photographs, they look at the health records of people, and they teach this around the world for continual medical education credits. They're both certified in nutrition from Cornell University, and they're both Olympic level athletes. They also own the Rancho Santa Fe Farmers Market, which is based on the longevity villages that they've studied all over the world. So it's truly an honor to work with Mr. Michael Varbeck, who walks the walk and talks the talk about longevity. Michael, handing the call over to you.
Stuart, as always a pleasure being with you, and we'll get back to you in a little bit. But first and foremost, a warm welcome to everybody that's taking your precious time to be on tonight. Please grab a piece of paper, grab a pen. The information we're going to cover tonight is very special, and for me personally, there's a couple of possibilities in the material. First and foremost, we're going to give you an option to really build a better body for yourself. I couldn't think of a better time to do that. And then later in the program, we're going to also go beyond ourselves and see how can we help our fellow human beings do exactly the same. Right? So from the perspective of just life in general, where does your health sit? Is your health your wealth? Or are you not paying attention to your health? Because I can assure you, as we move forward, I want health to be in the front seat, and I want you to drive that health yourself. Don't give your power away. Tonight we're here to empower you, and as Stuart rightfully said, once you've seen something, you can't unsee it. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. I'm not attached to the outcome of what you do tonight, but I am attached with providing you with the proper information. So this, in my world, is the biggest breakthrough in personalized nutrition and health in the last 25 years. And we need a system to evaluate that. How did we get to that conclusion? One of the things I would say that really brought me forward in this evaluation was looking at it from perspective of, okay, is it a problem? But that wasn't enough for me. The second portion was much, much more important. I wanted to see what's the magnitude of the problem we're looking at. So if I was going to devote my most precious thing, which is my time, when you get to be my age, you start to think about, okay, how many Christmases do you have left? My money, and also my energy. I have a reputation. I have lots of things that I've built over the years. So I needed to evaluate properly whether or not this was real and what magnitude of a problem we're looking at. You will see this is not just a little problem. This is a bigger than big problem. And from a timing perspective, the timing couldn't be more right than it is right now. Now, sometimes you are able to kind of stack the deck in your favor. It is so stacked it's not even fair, because here there's a timing element that's unparalleled to anything else I've ever seen in my whole business career. When you look at the company, it shouldn't just be solid. It should be absolutely rock solid. We're going to show you a company tonight that's exactly that. And because of that, not only can you win here, but you can win in a big way, both on a personal level, but also on a business level. See, the most the companies that makes the most breakthroughs in business are not necessarily the flashiest of companies, but anyone that you interact with, they've heard about Airbnb, Amazon, Uber, and Netflix. And rightfully so, because they're solving a problem that no one else was solving. And that's exactly what Zinzino is doing. And because of that, we're not talking about a company, oh, this is going to be a good company. When you really evaluate companies, you'll see there's lots of good companies out there, but there's very few great companies. Zinzino is going into the great category. And one of the reasons they do that is because they are a solution-oriented company. And it's not just solving a problem, they're solving a massive existing problem. Now, I use massive very, very respectfully, so please pay attention to that. The fact that that is tied to Zinzino is one of the first clues to why this is going to be something rare, right? This is an extraordinary opportunity. This is something that you want to pay attention to on a personal level. Now, one thing I don't have to do is I don't have to educate you on taking supplements. We no longer can just rely on eating our way into balance. I know that from my own longevity research, having been to over 80 countries. But 1 billion people have figured that out. Yes, if you want to be healthy, you want to optimize your time on earth, you have to supplement. But what we don't know is, do the supplements that we're taking, are they working? I thought I was doing great. I thought what I was doing was working. Boy, was I wrong. I love being wrong when what I look at is right. And in this particular case, there is no gray, because we're going to use something that is the ultimate truth, and that is your blood. Your blood doesn't lie, and you'll learn that in this program, why this is very important. But this is also another clue to why this is a solid opportunity to evaluate. So from that perspective, as we look at this company, as I said, is not just solid, it's rock solid. It's not a mom and pop shop. This company has had incredible growth. It's a publicly traded company on the Scandinavian NASDAQ, paid out dividends for the last 13 years. Yeah, it was founded 20 years ago. It's a battleship of a company. But I want you to pay attention to the timing element, because that's the key here. And because of its incredible growth, right now, in a sentence I can say, yeah, this is a company that's sitting at the 200 million mark. I can't use that sentence just next year, because by that time it'll be a 300 plus million mark. Because last month the company did 50 million in just 1 month, which is unheard of. And because of that, it's getting $1 billion, with a B, $1 billion valuation by 2028. So you're looking at a company that's going to become a multi-billion-dollar company that's sitting at the 200 million mark. If you've ever done business, especially on a large scale, you know that's exactly when you want to get a hold of it, because it's proven. The foundation is laid, but you get to capture all that market share, right? And there's no risk involved here, and that's the beautiful thing. Like, it's a sure thing. When you look at the numbers, I can go on and on, page after page. This is the second quarter of this year. Every quarter, right? Double-digit growth, quarter over quarter, like quarter over last year comparing to this quarter this year. And it's not an up and then down, it's just a rock solid growth. So no matter what angle you come at this from, you will see that what you're looking at tonight is something that's rare, it's very special. As Robert Kiyosaki says, in your lifetime, one, at the most, two extraordinary opportunities are going to come across your desk, right? This is one of those moments. But first, let's dive into the science. I want you to understand why we're attracting who's who in the medical space. There's one person in particular, he's iconic. He has devoted his lifetime to his passion is health. When everybody reads fiction, he reads medical papers. But he's done over 6,000 TV, radio, and podcasts. And rightfully so has earned the nickname the Omega Man. There's only one Omega Man in the world, and that is Mr. Stuart Tom. But besides that, his ability to retain information is like no one else. And because of his stature, we are having who's who in the medical field now join Zinzino. So Stuart, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Michael. It's such an honor to be your co-host always. And for anyone that's brand new to the call, what we're saying here about this being the biggest breakthrough in personalized nutrition over the last 25 years is really serious business. And what I'm going to share with you tonight, I've had the privilege to learn working at Nordic Naturals with the top omega-3 scientists in the world. And Zinzino solved the omega-3 problem. They solved the problem. And I'll show you how they did it by moving from hope to belief to knowing, by redefining the entire nutritional space with test-based nutrition. Zinzino says in writing that their mission is to become the biggest preventive health company in the world. And that's part of why we've been able to attract so many incredible experts. Because collectively, when we test people, we can measurably move the dial on public health globally and empower people to take responsibility for their health. One of the experts that's joined our team was the face of medicine for Nordic Naturals. I got to work with Dr. Michael Lewis at Nordic Naturals. I was the global educator. He was our chief medical officer. And so now he's joined Zinzino just as a testament to how incredible their work is. He's an MD, MPH, MBA, fellow of the American College of Preventive Medicine, fellow of the American College of Nutrition, retired Army Colonel, West Point grad, Army Ranger, infectious disease hunter, founder of the Brain Health Education Research Institute, and the leading expert in the world on the brain and omega-3s. And he's working with us in Zinzino because the customer experience is 10 times better than anything we have ever seen in nutrition. I've worked with Dr. Lewis for the last 20 years, and I'll follow him anywhere. And he said to me, Zinzino solved the omega-3 problem. How did they do it? Well, first they said we should all take a baseline fingertip test. These are simple to take, painless at-home blood spot tests, and then ship the sample to a third-party independent laboratory that is not connected to the manufacturer, and that's where the samples go. And then you start on their balance oil. You take the balance test, and then you pair that with the balance oil. Now, the balance oil is not just omega-3 fish oil. You're going to learn it's the next generation omega-3 product. This was my area of expertise. I call it the holy grail of omega-3 products. I've coined it a Mediterranean diet in a bottle. And then you get hit in the face with your test results. I can't even tell you how I felt. My heart jumped out of my chest. Here I am, the spokesperson for the biggest fish oil company. I've been taking handfuls of fish oil pills for longer than I can remember, and I failed the test miserably. I then start on their balance oil. For 120 days, they sent me a second test for free, and I tested again and went from out of balance into balance with the check engine light on to the check engine light off. I've never felt better. More importantly, I can prove it with my own test results, and so can you. So would you like to take a test to find out your results? Zinzino is the pioneer of test-based nutrition from Scandinavia. We're talking about the balance test primarily today that tells you the most important number for health and longevity. And we also have a vitamin D, like David test, an HbA1c long-term blood sugar test, and a brand new leaky gut test, a fingertip, first ever designed, we built it in-house, gut health test. So I want to cast the vision for you that Zinzino is pioneering test-based nutrition. They have the best supplements I've ever seen. That's a separate issue. I want you to visualize, instead of a cabinet filled with supplements, whether or not you need them, we don't even know. I didn't know. Instead, a suite of these functional tests so you can take your power back. Now, I took all 4 of these tests the other day. I had them all out there, and my wife did too. And we pricked our finger, drop, 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 and I had this vision of hundreds, thousands, and then millions of people around the world testing themselves and taking their power back before they get diagnosed. Because there's a silent threat that most people miss. And we're going to talk about it. And imagine if you could offer a test every person in the world needs before they knew they needed it. What do I mean by that? If you don't know your omega-6-3 ratio and your omega-3 balance, and you know your HDL, your LDL, and your triglycerides, now just add this to what you know. You already have important information. This is even more predictive. This is even more predictive than what we currently have, and getting a high omega-3 index, as you'll see, is just as important as quitting smoking. So there is a hidden health crisis globally. The battle between omega-6 and omega-3. So I'm going to share with you the way that my professor taught me this. Anyone can understand this, and it really helped me understand it. So I'll share it with you. Would hold up his left fist and say, imagine this is omega-6. It's essential. Remember asking, what does that mean, Dr. Lanz? He said, it means your body doesn't produce it. So when we starve the animals of omega-6, they die. And it's largely pro-inflammatory. That's what essential means. Your body doesn't make it. If you don't have it, you get sick and die. Omega-3, he would hold up his right fist and smile, is also essential. Your body doesn't produce it, and it's largely anti-inflammatory. So now we're not talking about what's in the food you eat. We're talking about your blood. Can you visualize that you want inflammation and anti-inflammation in balance? You need both for a healthy inflammatory response. That's why this test tells you the most important number. Now, the ideal ratio is 3-to-1, omega-6 to omega-3. 2-to-1 is better. 1-to-1 would be perfect. Anything above 3-to-1 is considered the danger zone. The average now is 25-to-1. How did we get here? Well, the history of food is really the history of omega-6 and omega-3 balance, because we were designed to have them in balance for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. And science recommends 3-to-1, that's really the safe zone. And when you're in balance, look at the slide, you have healthy cells. The cell membrane, which is where these fatty acids live, when you're in balance, it's nice and flexible. It allows nutrients in and waste products out, and you have a healthy inflammatory response. When you're out of balance, then you get these really unhealthy cells. Look at what happens. When you go from 4-to-1 to 10-to-1 to 25-to-1 to 40-to-1, the cell membrane just keeps getting thicker and stickier and more rigid. What do I mean by that? Omega-6s are flexible, are hard and rigid rather. Omega-6s are stiff and rigid. Omega-3s are flexible. So when you're out of balance, you have these unhealthy cell membranes and they become hard. Nutrients are having a difficult time getting in. Waste products have a difficult time getting out. And we also don't mount a healthy inflammatory response. And finally, when you're out of balance, if you don't have enough omega-3, your body will cannibalize itself to get the omega-3 to help put out the fire to resolve the inflammation. That's why this is so critical for optimal health. So 100% of us should take the test. 97% fail the test globally, 99% failed the test in the USA, and this is the statistic that won me over to Zinzino forever. 95% of the people that follow their protocol take the test, take the balance oil based on your body weight. If you're bigger, you take more. If you're smaller, you take less. You wait the appropriate amount of time and test again to prove you're in balance. 95% of the people that do that improve dramatically or pass, just like I did, just like you can. So what's the difference between this balance oil and standard fish oil? Well, traditional fish oils, Nordic Naturals, Pure, Metagenics, any brand you can think of, all of them, they don't have polyphenols. The polyphenols are the antioxidants in nature. They're fascinating. They wrap around the omega-3 and protect them and make sure they get to the right place. Well, traditional fish oils have no polyphenols because they're inadvertently stripped out. What do I mean by that? I'm sure we've all heard you have to remove mercury from fish oil. Well, in the process of removing mercury, the bad stuff, they remove the polyphenols, the good stuff. And they leave fish oil denatured, like pasteurized milk, where you've got to put vitamin A and vitamin D and calcium back in there for it to be worth anything. How did Zinzino get the polyphenols back in? Well, they were removed from the algae. They went to the land. They studied with the leading experts in olive oil at the University of Milan and found out that the polyphenols in olives are almost identical to the ones lost during manufacturing, and they patented the process. Now, you can't drink olive oil and fish oil and jump up and down and get the effect here. Not at all. They combine them together on a molecular level. The polyphenols wrap around the omega-3s and increase their bioavailability and improve the efficacy of the product. So you can go from out of balance into balance in 120 days. It's simple genius. I call it a Mediterranean diet in a bottle, because every bottle is equal to 300 of these pre-harvest olives loaded with these polyphenols and 30 piles of anchovies. So the entire product portfolio is the best I've seen in over 30 years in the dietary supplement industry. That comment is echoed by my colleagues. So is the timing right? Before I turn the call back over to Michael, the omega-3 experts that have been working on this for over 20 years all agree this is the moment. This is the time. Why? Because the science is in, the consensus is here, we now know the biomarker. Every person should know this number. Look at the middle of the slide. An imbalance of two healthy fats affects your early death risk, study finds. That's all-cause mortality, the imbalance. Look at the one to the left. A low omega-3 index is just a strong predictor of early death as smoking. So if you want better mental health, if you want a better immune response, a better stress response, a better inflammatory response, if you want to build a more vibrant body so that you can live your healthiest possible life, you have to get into balance. And if you're not testing, you're guessing. I'd like to send the call back over to Michael to talk about sharing this opportunity with people around the world. Michael?
As always, beautiful. And as you can see on the screen, it says why this creates a massive opportunity, right? So from that perspective, let's look at that and really dive in and see what can we go from here, and how's that going to affect your life. First and foremost, we gave you a promise that it's almost impossible to not build a better body. I hope you see the value in that. Anyone that's watching tonight should be taking the balance oil. If you haven't been tested, get tested. And on that note, you're not running a test program. You're not a guinea pig. On the screen here, you can see we are looking at how many tests has been done. Like when you're looking at data of 1.6 million, that's a lot of data points. That's how many tests has been done. And what we're seeing now is that the population of Iceland, 3% has been tested. Norway, where it originated, 2% of the population has been tested. And the remaining countries of Scandinavia, 1.5% Now, maybe Scandinavia is a fluke, but that's not the case. As you can see, we're starting now to make inroads into Europe. So, unless you can convince me that the blood in America is very different than it is in Scandinavia and Europe, it's only a matter of time before the same numbers are going to hit here. So we're just taking something that's a roaring success in that part of the world and bringing it to parts of the world, the Americas, Asia, that hasn't been introduced to yet. So from that perspective, when you look at numbers, when something hits 2.5%, it's categorized as a trend. And we're in the pre-trend mode. Remember I said this is the best timing element for you to capture something? Like you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar company that's sitting at the 200 million mark. See, that volume was created where? In Scandinavia and Europe. United States currently, the penetration rate, the saturation rate is 0.001%. And mark my words, these are not my words, these are the co-founders' words. United States is going to be the largest market. So this is an opportunity with a capital O that is cemented in numbers. You have a crystal ball. It's very rare. Typically, an opportunity, you got someone who's excited, they're telling you about the opportunity. You got a product that looks promising. That's all you got. Not here. Here, we have numbers, we have track records, we have data that's showing you where this is going to end up. So from that perspective, let's run the numbers on the United States. Google the United States and they'll tell you 340 million people are in the United States, okay? Anyone that has blood is a candidate here. It's the most universal opportunity you'll see that'll ever come across your desk. And doesn't matter what age, what sex, whether you're a baby or you're an adult, right? You're an athlete or a couch potato, doesn't matter. And then 340 million, 1.5%, that's 5.1 million tests. As I said, we've done less than 60,000 tests. Now we're going to get to 1.5%, but it's not going to stop there. The estimation is in the Western world, we're going to get to 15 to
You should be back in 1 second here. I think you just froze for a moment, but just hang tight.
16% than you're seeing here. Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back, Michael.
Okay. So again, all I'm saying is that when you run the numbers, you can see that Germany has done 17 times the volume of testing that we have done in the United States. And a lot of things related to health, they originate in that part of the world. And now we're bringing that to this part of the world. So you're really in a very favorable place right now. So the company is not just solid, it's rock solid. It's a completely established company, battleship of a company, 20 years old, that's positioned to win because the foundation is set, the model is working. Every test that's being done drives up the demand for the balance oil. So demand is rising. At the end of this year, we're going to end on 1 million customers. Is it then just going to stop? No, it's just going to continue to grow. See, we pushed the snowball over the hill. It's just now starting to roll down. And that's why we're going to end up at 100 million customers, which is, by the way, a conservative number. Yes, over the next decade, we're going to get into 180 countries. Would you like some of that market share from a business perspective? Do you have the entrepreneurial gene? This is the time, this is the moment. And again, later on in life, don't come back and say, oh, you never told me that. Yes, we told you so. This is not a time to sit on our hands because we have it and we can run with it. Right? So you can win here in a massive way. People that have never done this business format come into Zinzino. Why? Because Zinzino is different. It's a completely different model. This is customer centric. They want you to win. There's a customer plan. There's a partner plan. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's take as an example a practitioner, a chiropractor. They see X amount of patients every month. Would they like to offer the best test, the best product? Of course they would. And that's what they implement that into their practice. So what do? They earn by selling products to their patients, and then they're just doing it through their online store. Then there's people like myself and Stuart, that see the trend, they see the vision, the big canvas picture of where this is going to go on a global scale. Yes, you can sit at home and do your business in your pajamas because all you need is a phone and a Wi-Fi and a laptop, and then you're in business. But then now we're tapping into the partner plan because we're sharing that vision with other people. We start building out a network of people with online stores. Guess what you do? You're stepping away in a big way from linear income. See, I've done a lot of linear income in my time. What is linear income? That's when you trade your time for money. Here, we're not. We're stepping away from that model. Instead, we're going into what's called true residual income. That's when you're in overrides on other people's efforts, other people's businesses. And just as a side note, when you look on the right side of the screen, you'll see it says 100. Underneath it says a one-time bonus of $11,500. Now that's a sizable amount of money. And what does that mean, that 100? It means 100 products on subscription. Yes, there could be 25 customers that on a monthly basis are consuming 4 products. Once you hit the 100 products on subscription and you maintain that, then that over an extended period of time pays out an $11,500 bonus. This is just one of many things that makes Zinzino so different. Zinzino pays out in a lot of different ways. So let me first cover this, right? You can tap into both the customer and the partner. You can tap into one or the other. Whatever fits into your model, you can do. We have people here that do it part-time, full-time, but this is a beautiful home for anyone that wants to generate more wealth for themselves and their family, and also promote the aspects of health to the world, do good in the world. From a partner perspective, yes, you earn lots of different ways. Team commissions, you earn title bonuses, you earn volume commissions, you earn customer acquisition bonuses. You even at the higher ranks earn shares in the Zinzino stock. Never seen that before. But I want to pause on one moment on what's called the mentor matching bonus. Up to this point, what have we done in our lives? We have interacted with other human beings. We've built relationships. So as you bring something of high value to another person, they're going to start seeing what you're seeing. And when they join Zinzino because you introduced them to Zinzino, guess what you get? You get a mentor matching bonus anywhere from 5 to 25% on their income. Yes, that turns into significant income over time. Please, I hope you're grasping the vision, because this is a company that's sitting at a place right now where we're coming up on 1 million customers, and we're going to go to 100 million customers. So there's a significant amount of income to be generated from that journey. Now, how do you get started? Obviously, there's two paths here for customers. We're going to break it down what that entails, and then we're going to cover the partner kit as well. So let's start with the customer path. As a customer, one of the beautiful things here, why we're so customer-centric, is we do not break the bank. Anyone can participate, and anyone does, because they see the value. Now, the test retails for $178, but we don't charge them that. See, Zinzino does things very different. Now, I always tell people there's no reason to test if you're not willing to commit to the lifespan of your red blood cells, which is 120 days. But if you're willing to do that, here's what Zinzino will do for you. They will charge you $115 for the test. And on top of that, they'll give you the first bottle for free. After 120 days, which is the lifespan of your red blood cells, then they'll even give you a second test in the 5th month for free. Yeah, you heard me correct. It's $115 upfront. Then it's $45 a month to get the solution, the balance on. And then you get a second test for free. It's an incredible offer, and you can consume either the liquid or the capsules. Personally, when I travel, I consume the capsules. When I'm at home, I consume the liquid. Now, from a partner perspective, there's an incredible offer for you as well. You can either start with a basic kit, $325. It only comes with one test. So overwhelmingly, people choose the ultimate kit. Now, if you've ever done traditional business, you know the startup capital is a lot. It You have to take out a loan, you have to get started. This is a business. This is your own business. You're a business for yourself, not by yourself. We're here to support you. But look at the startup capital required. $1,150. It's very little. But overwhelmingly, why do people choose this? Because of multiple things. One, you want to be a product of the product. This is an incredible product selection you're seeing in front of you, all based on science. Second, the test. Yes, you have 10 tests that comes with this, and you can rotate those tests. But then there's one more reason, because if you choose the Ultimate Kit, it comes with a refund campaign. I know, what do you mean a refund campaign? Well, have you ever started something and then after 12 months you get your money back? No, neither have I. But in this particular case with Zinzino, I told you it was different. That's exactly the case. Maybe Stuart, you can pop up and just show them their check, because again, we're getting our money back. Like there's Stuart's check, he got his money back. I got my money back. Because, as I said, doing exactly what we should be doing by sharing this with people. So when you have 25 customers that are consuming Zinzino product on a monthly basis after 12 months, yeah, you read it right. Then you get the money back for your Ultimate Kit. It's an incredible offer. Now let's talk about what does it cost to run your business. Obviously, with any business, if you ever own a business, there's always a monthly overhead. In this business, this is also very low, because it's less than $100, like $79, and you get a balanced product sent to you every month. You get a balance test every 4 months. You get an incredible, very sophisticated online office with very attractive, easy to share landing pages, which people, when they land on those, right, they're landing on your business. When they order something, they're landing on your shop. And then you also, for personal and professional development, you get an incredible app loaded up with over 1,000 hours of just content. But there's even a way to lower that monthly cost, because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is what? It's sharing this with people. Right? Now, right now, you can go out in the street, you could stop 1,000 people. You could ask them 2 questions. Have you ever heard of Starbucks? You would get 1,000 yeses. Then you could ask the second question, have you ever heard of Zinzino? You would get 1,000 no's. Now, wait 10 years, ask that same question. All of a sudden, you're going to get a lot of yeses, because Zinzino will be a household name. But in this particular case, this is why this is so alluring. When you go out and share this with the world, yeah, you're going to get people that want to get into balance. So when you get 4 products on subscription worth 20 credits, guess what? Now the monthly cost of running your business gets taken off the table. The only charge you have is the shipping cost, $9.95. That's what I have in terms of cost. That's what Stuart has in terms of cost. Thousands of people have that, right, that are involved with Zinzino, because they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing in building their business. So on top of that, there's campaigns every month. This is an incredible campaign that's running for people as you get started. So as you enroll in Zinzino, this Fast Start program is worth $2,875. We talked about the 4 products. Not only does it eliminate the monthly overhead, it also unlocks a bonus for you for doing that. And as you share this with people and they become partners like yourself, when you enroll 2 partners with an Ultimate Kit, that unlocks another bonus of $460. What do we do next? Well, we teach the people we enroll to do exactly the same. When they enroll 2 people each, then that unlocks a bonus of $1,380. And we don't stop with the 4 products. We continue to share this with people. So when we get 10 products total, then that unlocks yet another bonus. This is a 120-day program. Quite a lot of people do this in 30 days. Now again, you can do it in 120 days if you choose to, but this is an incredible program, and it shows you why this is different. In traditional business, yes, you're in the red for 12 to 24 months. Trust me, I've been there. I've been grinding it out in traditional business, linear income, staying in the red, and finally getting into the black. That's not the case with Zinzino. So many people, after just a month, are in the black. Okay, this is why so many people are attracted to this very, very different business program, if you will, like as an entrepreneur. So, doesn't stop there. Like, you're not here just for $2,875. Like, this is what you're looking at long term. And there's a home here. There's a legacy company, and the thing that's really refreshing is these incomes have already been made. By who? People in Scandinavia and Europe. Yes, the millionaires in the United States have yet to be made. I did mention the United States is going to be the largest market in the world. So there's a very big opportunity here for anyone that walks through the door and sees the vision that we're seeing, because we need people to lock arms with us and share this with the world. We talked about the stock. There's bonuses there at the higher ranks, up to $4 million for grabs. So next step for you is really to make the decision for yourself. Where do you see yourself? Like, if you become a Zinzino partner, you're literally leading the future of personalized nutrition, and you're going to be having a huge impact on the world. On top of that, right, if you want to be a customer, by the way, any partner that joins can also sign themselves up as a customer, because we want everybody to experience the benefits and get your health into balance. It's not just about you. Who do you know? Because connect us with others. We want to get the word out. We do these presentations every Tuesday, every Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Please spread the word. Invite people to these calls because we want to change the world in a massive way. I want to thank my co-host, Stuart Tom, as always, impeccable with your word. Thank you so much for your time, Stuart. I know you could be doing a lot of other things. And I want to thank you. Thank you for your time. I hope you saw value tonight. Should you decide this is your new home, let me be the first to welcome you to our Zinzino community. Again, like-minded individuals that's all wanting to do good for the world. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you back here soon. Good night.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.